Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Anyway, it's your boy Toxeyboyo over back with what is this, the fourth day of Death Battle reactions. We're doing this again, not to prove a point like we did last time when we did a whole bunch of these back to back. I guess kind of to prove a point, mostly that you guys will argue about anything. Even if we have a situation like what we've got right now with Hulk versus Godzilla, similar to when we did Kakashi versus Obi-Wan, it's like two of my favorite fictional characters of all time were duking it out, and like being an expert on both characters, I didn't agree with the outcome, and you guys were very upset about that. Fun fact: dislikes count as engagement. You know, it still feeds me into the algorithm. Anyway, we got another situation like that. It's Hulk versus Godzilla, as you can see here, with Godzilla's big-ass fucking foot. Important to note, that's Japanese Godzilla. We're not dealing with monster versus Godzilla, I hope to God. Because if we are, Hulk wins bad. Assuming that we're not dealing with live-action Hulk either. So if we're dealing with, like, a comic book, like, aggregate, like, 616 Immortal Hulk versus Toho Godzilla, this should be really interesting. I think that the scale of these two combatants is really funny, because look how fucking big Godzilla is, and then Hulk's like 7 feet tall down here. But yeah, I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I have seen most of the Japanese films and all of the American ones, unfortunately. Some of the Japanese Godzilla movies are just really hard to get your hands on legitimately. There's like 50 movies. I can't say definitively which ones I have or haven't seen off the top of my head right now. But it is entirely possible that we're going to see some stuff out of Godzilla in this video that I'm not familiar with because it happened in a movie that I have not seen. I don't know if this is going to be like a comp Godzilla, where it's like everything that he's ever done in Japan is being used, or if this is like I don't know, what's it called? The Showa era Godzilla. Like I don't know. I don't know what we've got here. But because of the nature of the internet, no matter what I say or whether I agree with the outcome or not, you guys will argue with me. Well, you'll actually argue with yourselves, but you know, whatever. Like always, we skip right to the battle around here because we don't have all day.
Godzilla has reached the city. So far, the evacuation is... Wait, look!
Royalty-free version of the Godzilla theme. You'd love to see it. Why does he look like that? Why does he have that stupid-ass Jeremy Renner hairstyle? Why does he look like Marvel Rivals Hulk? Here we go! That's slight work for Bruce. Yeah, pick that shit up. Yeah. Where is he? Oh, I thought he jumped. It's interesting because both of these characters, like, obviously they're both gonna be... Okay. Now, I can't actually remember if in Japan most of the time Godzilla is actually enhanced by radioactive energy. I think that's true. I don't think that that's something that America invented. So if Bruce gets angrier and angrier and starts leaking gamma radiation, it'll make Godzilla stronger. And then Bruce is also more or less immune to the effects of Godzilla's atomic breath. Because he is not damaged by radiation. And I was also going to say before that they've got pretty much equal healing factors, because I've seen them both regenerate from just like, you know, a blood stain. And then here's this, in case you were,
All right, Hulk. Time for me to take over. We don't want any trouble. No!
Why? Why?
All right, Hulk. Time for me to...
Why? What is with the Marvel rivalsification of the Hulk? Is this the default Hulk now? I don't like this, as you can tell. I just don't think of this when you ask me what does Bruce Banner look like. I'm not gonna tell you that he looks like Robert Robertson III from fucking Dispatch.
take over. We don't want any trouble. No! Hulk stays!
Are they gonna... Okay. He kind of looks like -1 Godzilla.
You think you're strong? I scar the world!
So he's gone Worldbreaker. This is this Hulk's 3rd or 4th matchup? He fought Doomsday, he fought Broly. Broly beat Hulk, didn't he? I thought that was kind of silly. Anyway. Oh, did he take his head off and then it just grew back? That was a really weird animation. That's pretty cool. That's also pretty cool. Here he comes. I don't know if that's specifically from a movie where he starts glowing red like that. Does he glow red in Shin? He doesn't really glow red, he glows purple. But he is red for parts of that movie. That's not good enough.
Stupid lizard.
That's not good enough either. Was that the green door? Is that what it's called? Okay. I don't really read Marvel or DC comics anymore. A, it's gotten too expensive. B, they've done a lot with a lot of my favorite characters that I don't like. C, I don't have time. So I typically just will watch like Comics Explained type videos, not specifically from Comics Explained because I don't like him very much. I relied on Comic Historian a lot before he passed away a couple years ago. So I don't actually know the whole deal with Immortal Hulk, but I think it's called the Green Door, unless I'm thinking about something completely different. But yes, pretty much like Hulk is unkillable right now as far as I'm aware, right? But wasn't he already Immortal Hulk when they did the Broly one? So I don't necessarily know how it works. He's back.
I think I understand.
What did he say?
I think I understand.
I think I understand. His mouth flaps didn't match that at all. Oh, okay. Why does he look like that?
It's been days since the battle began, and the red dust is spreading. Godzilla has grown in size, but we believe we are...
Oops.
How does it work? Well, smash.
What the hell is that?
Does it work?
Why does he have the power glove that Kong had in New Empire? What the fuck is that?
Well, smash. 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 to 1 and rising. That's the odds. Chance to nullify the madness behind the monster. 2 + 2 is 5. A right angle is 80 degrees. This element is beyond what we can perceive. Like gamma. 1,000 times.
I didn't think about that. That's actually really interesting. Bruce and Hulk are working together in this, learning from every time Godzilla kills Hulk. And together, they're coming up with a way to beat him. That's really interesting. Never thought about that. I would have liked to see that before in the other battle against Broly. I do think it's a little silly that he built a glove. Hulk, like, Bruce isn't that kind of scientist. He can consult on something like that with Tony Stark or even, Reed Richards. Maybe Hank Pym, but he's not a mechanical engineer. He's a nuclear physicist.
1,000,000,000. 1,000,000,000,000. I just need 1.
Oh, what's happening now? What the fuck is going on? They made a Fortress of Solitude.
Big guy. We did it.
KO! Okay, run this by me. What happened?
Can I don't think Godzilla's dead. Because he never fucking is.
It's complicated, so let's break this down into 3 categories. First up, power. Most versions of Godzilla can shrug off black holes and extinction-level events, tag beyond light speed.
Some Godzillas have defeated characters like Thor and Superman in comics, but these scenarios involve off-comic gags or else worlds variants with unique circumstances and less power than their mainline counterparts. Yeah, I mean, Superman did die to, like, legendary Godzilla recently. That was dumb.
Speed
But
foes like Gigan blow up planets. However,
Whatever.
the Hulk is beyond that.
The big guy clapped a universe to bits and shook the infinite dimensions linked to the crossroads. In a straight fight with a classic Godzilla, 616 Hulk smashes the...
So then how did Broly beat him? I'm remembering that Broly beat him. Yeah, Broly did win. Okay, so if we're hang on, if we're saying that the Hulk is if we're saying that the Hulk is strong enough to do stuff like that, then what's the difference here? I don't think I get it. I don't think I get it. But whatever.
But factoring in Ultima changes things. The entity sees all of space-time and can manipulate its results at a whim. No matter how strong the Hulk got, Ultima could potentially...
I don't really know what that is, to be honest.
But Hulk broke chains made of the first firmament, which could overwhelm eternity.
An abstract concept.
What are we fucking talking about, dude? In the Singular Point novel, Pelops suggests Ultima can lose by connecting it to an episode where it is defeated, essentially manipulating meta-narrative. This is one of the multiple proposed methods. Physical combat combined with the orthogonal diagonalizer. The orthogonal diagonalizer. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Can I be honest with you? I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I've watched a lot of Godzilla movies. I have. I promise. I swear to you. I've watched a lot of Godzilla movies. What the fuck are we talking about? I'm sure you guys in the comments, because you just always so happen to know about every fucking thing, I'm sure you guys are going to school me. I welcome it this time. Please tell me what's going on.
Of a being not entirely unlike Ultima's entity.
Even a small piece of the first firmament could break the multiverse. Plus, Hulk kept up with Odin Force Thor, who is also on a celestial level of power.
So the gap in power becomes nebulous. Still,
I'll take it,
unless
I
Hulk
guess.
could remove Ultima from the equation, neither held a clear advantage in power.
Like, what the fuck is
Especially when you
Ultima?
look at the-
What is Ultima? Featured in Godzilla Singular Point 2021 is a godlike fourth-dimensional entity existing outside normal space-time, capable of causing universal destruction. Its avatar form is heavily armored, 100 meters tall. My bad. Its avatar is a heavily armored, 100 meter tall creature that radiates reality-bending red dust and uses a devastating, time-manipulating atomic breath, making it one of the most powerful Godzilla incarnations. One of? What else could there be? What is Godzilla Singular Point? It's a Netflix show? What the fuck is this? This is insane! I've never seen this. Studio Bones? And I'm not, like, this isn't, like, frustration because, like, oh man, my favorite character lost. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? We're literally, like, talking about characters bending reality around each other and around themselves. So it literally just comes down to, like, I don't know, fuck it. Whoever has the strongest plot armor, whoever has the strongest axe, whoever can be wanked the highest. Like, Hulk died how many times in that fight? But it doesn't matter because Godzilla died once. Like, come on.
Their immortality.
This was practically a never-ending death loop. Even with their healing factors, both could technically kill each other, but then just come right back.
The green door instantly appears when Hulk
green
goes
door,
to the
okay.
below place, and the higher dimensional entity could always summon a
below
replacement
place.
Godzilla avatar. So both Hulk and Godzilla could not stay dead.
Unless they could somehow prevent what was happening in those other dimensions. So let's examine the layers of their multiverses. Marvel's Cosmos has
Strap in, boys. We may never return.
infinite higher dimensions, which themselves are transcended by the astral plane, the superflow, and so on until you reach the House of Ideas, the domain of the one above all.
Since the one below all mirrors the one above all, the below
The domain of the one
I don't know what the far shore, the white hot room, or the land that couldn't but shouldn't be are. Those sound made up? Let's make sure that they're not. A void-like, liminal, and often contradictory realm located outside the Marvel multiverse, acting as a final resting place or prison or gateway beyond space-time. So that's real. What's the white hot room? A realm that serves as both an afterlife and base of operations for the Phoenix and its hosts? Holy shit. Land that couldn't but shouldn't be. Is a plane of non-existence outside the multiverse. Surreal white void realm in Marvel Comics located outside the multiverse, acting as a gas bubble surrounding reality. It is a place of impossibility where characters like the Silver Surfer have visited to escape the end of all things, often featuring the Shaper of Worlds. Yeah. Yeah, this is... Yeah. And stuff like this is why... It goes back to what I said way forever ago when I reacted to the third Goku versus Superman battle. We shouldn't be putting Marvel and DC characters against anime characters anymore. Like I get that Broly is stronger than Goku, but like Superman and Hulk have to be relative to each other at this point if we're dealing with shit like this. So I just can't see Broly taking down Hulk. I can't see Goku taking down Superman. I can't see Beerus. I can't see Zeno taking down a character like Superman or the Hulk. Like, we're talking about characters that contain multitudes and can defeat other characters that contain multitudes with their fists. Like, the Hulk is a concept that stretches beyond the scope of what can be understood by your average reader at this point, because the writers can just make shit like this up. The multiverse, by the way, the whole multiverse, infinite Earths, and then the astral plane, the superflow, eternity, neutral zone, far shore, beyonder's domain, white hot room, land that couldn't but shouldn't be. All of that stuff, and you mean to tell me that the Hulk is he's outer-versal? Hey, why don't you read Western comics anymore? Why don't you read Marvel or DC anymore? Because this shit is stupid. This shit is stupid. Why would I want to read this shit? Anyway.
Above all.
Since the one below all mirrors the one above all, the below place mirrors the House of Ideas. Get it?
In comparison, the cosmos of Godzilla's multiverse is just as vast and infinite, but does not...
What? Because I know what the one above all is. What is the one below all? Isn't that a malevolent Marvel Comics entity acting as the dark counterpart to the one above all, residing in the deepest layer of hell, the below place? It seeks to destroy all life and is the source of gamma radiation, often possessing gamma mutates like the Hulk to act in the physical world. Why would that be the source of gamma radiation? Gamma radiation's a real thing. Why would that be the source of gamma radiation?
Not have the same sort of transcending layers above and below. This means the below place, the Hulk's respawn point and source of power, is out of the entity's reach.
So the real question is, if they both can't die and Ultima's entity can't affect the below place, could
Hulk broke a pactum aeternus, an unbreakable contract of reality set by the eldest child of the Mother of Horrors, an entity beyond existence and older than the one above all. Considering the difference in scale of their cosmologies, this outclasses even the most charitable interpretations of the entity in singular point. Can I say something? Well, I would sure hope so, because this is my video and you're the one watching it. How is this fun to talk about? Like, versus debates used to be fun. Like, you could just, like, be sitting in class and be like, yo, who wins, Naruto or Goku? And it's like, oh, well, I mean, Goku screamed so hard that the earth shook. Naruto's never done anything like that. Obviously, Naruto would lose pretty badly. And it's just something like, you don't have to have, like, how do you even research shit like this? And how is it fun to talk about? How is it fun, like... And this is the type of shit that people on TikTok and Twitter and YouTube comments will try to bait you into spending your entire week talking about, because they'll be like, actually, if you read comics, because if you don't know shit like this, the assumption is that you've never read a comic, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You looked that up. Anyway.
Hulk somehow stopped the entity before it destroyed the universe?
It all comes down to Gamma and Archetype.
Somehow?
Ultima was defeated in the anime by using a trans-temporal super-dimension calculator operating at infinite speeds to activate the orthogonal diagonalizer, turning Archetype against itself.
Ultima endlessly spews this stuff, so there's plenty to work with. And Hulk can reach into comic book gutter space, so he should be able to reach through a singular point. But that's not enough.
Fortunately for Hulk, it just so happened.
So does She-Hulk scale that same way because I've seen her tear through advertisements and comic books to get to the next scene faster? Does that work for Deadpool too? Does that work for any character that's ever demonstrated fourth wall awareness, even as a joke? Because if we're scaling stuff like that, we're scaling stuff like that, then that changes things. It changes the scope of things.
He knows someone who, like scientists who have defeated Godzilla in the past, is an expert on particles from a greater dimension that mutate reality beyond our understanding.
Who made a device with those?
Finding the code for the... So they called it the orthogonal diagonalizer. Is defined as an NP-complete program, a real-world classification of difficulty. Banner's intellect is comparable to 6160 Reed Richards. Is that the maker? Who solved P-Space complete problems mid-combat in even higher difficulty tier. Come on, man. This shit is lame. We're spewing damn near gibberish, and I know that there's going to be people out there that are like, it's actually quite simple. If you just... Shut the fuck up, okay? This is stupid. I don't care who wins between Godzilla and the Hulk. I love them both. Alright, they're both in my top 10 fictional characters of all time. I just think that this is stupid. This particular way of looking at shit is stupid. Who can build a machine that wins the battle faster?
Particles that break space-time, like the diagonalizer. Who made a supercomputer that scanned the infinite multiverse with the speed of a hypermind, like the dimension calculator. Hell, the guy made an interstellar radio.
I don't know what a hypermind is.
Stones in a matter of days, and even built an ultimate nullifier. It's like he was made for.
So fuck what I said about Bruce Banner not being a fucking mechanical engineer. The comics have debunked me. That's great. I've never seen him build anything like that. But apparently he has and can. I thought he was a lab rat rather than a tech bro. You got your gearheads and you got your lab rats. I thought he was more of a lab rat than a gearhead. But that shows what I know about my favorite Marvel superhero. Alright.
For this.
The Green Door waits for no Hulk, including Banner. Even if Ultima's catastrophe...
Godzilla briefly mutated from gamma radiation in an Elseworlds comic. It's possible that this mutated Godzilla could appear in the below place, but it would be out of the entity's reach and no longer usable. Hulk could also absorb the gamma energy out of Godzilla. Okay. I don't have anything to say about that. My mind has become pudding.
The door could deposit Banner in a different universe, and he could continue the fight.
He had all the time in the infinite multiverse.
There was only one way this could end, and only one person who could make it so.
Even among gods and monsters, man was the ultimate weapon.
The winner is Bruce Banner.
Next time on...
Cool. That was lame, to be honest. Not the fight itself. I just like... I mean, like, we spent like 5 minutes explaining the outcome of the fight after it was over. Because, like, this is the first death battle where the battle actually required a time skip. I don't know. I've never seen Singular Point. I'm not familiar with Immortal Hulk. There's a lot of whatever. I'm out of here.